He said. Today we are going to look into the topic of today as it's been separated on this very screen. Like I always said, when you don't explain some certain things properly, many who does not understand may continue to swim in a pool of blindness and ignorance. That's why explanation always put people right in their various ways. But the problem is, when you don't explain, how do you expect people to understand the facts and figures? That is why we have teachers. That is why we have guidance. Those who can straighten our neck and lead us on the path that pleases Chukwukikabiama and pleases humanity as well. Remember, you can never please God without you pleasing humanity. Every wickedness you done to humanity, you did that wickedness against God. But every goodness you done for humanity, you did that goodness for God as well. Because God will not come as God. God will always come in form of human. In other way, to test our faith and test our character. That's why I always preach to people, what you cannot create, you don't have right to take it. That's why human life is so precious to me, and that is why I joined IPOB with proud. I'm very, very proud to be one of the IPOB members, because in their manifesto, life is so precious to the members of IPOB. And since Nigeria government discovered this, that's why they keep on recruiting those that have the same mindset with them, those that believe in killing, those that believe in destroying, to come and infiltrate into IPOB. But IPOB is very difficult for them to operate or hide under the umbrella of IPOB, because by the words of their mouths and their ideology of advice, we always detect them and put them where they belong. Where they belong is to kick them out of IPOB umbrella, because we cannot force anybody to be where he or she don't supposed to be. Those that believe in violence, they should join, they should go and create their own group and become more or less like the terrorist Funanis in the north. But one thing that is assured is every act of wickedness has its payment, and that payment is what? Death. But every act of righteousness and kindness has its also payment, and the payment of it is what? Reward of goodness from heaven. But trying to disguise and hide under IPOB, we will detect you and we will push you out of our IPOB. You will never stay in IPOB. It's a promise. I want to thank every members of IPOB globally. I want to thank the sympathizers of IPOB globally, those that know the truth. Because truth is the only thing that can save us free on this very earth. No matter how long you practice your wickedness, one day you will pay dearly for it. Nothing lasts forever. Let me start from the first topic here. And as I'm analyzing and teaching this very thing today, I want everybody to be with your pen and paper. So, to go back to those in that field as professionals, go and make your require and ask them what I want to teach you today after you have listened. Now, let me start from the first topic without wasting of time. The first topic said, was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu verdict of victory by Sam Mike Ezekome and the Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor nullified by the Nigerian government? Now hear this and go back to make your research. If I finish teaching you, that's how we do in IPOB. We don't prevent you from making research. In other words, to get your own fact of what we have taught you. In a judiciary, there is something they call litigation, legal litigation. The victory of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of the charge and acquitted was not nullified by the Nigerian government. Or let me break down the English. It was not cancelled by the Nigerian government. The victory was there, secured, intact. But what Nigeria government did was to challenge, underline that language, was to challenge the verdict. The verdict was challenged. Like many other governments of the world, even in the civilized nations, there are some cases, a high classified cases like the one of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case is a high classified case. Case of freedom fighting is a high classified case. Of course, you don't expect Nigerian government to dash away their stand against those who are agitating for exit from Nigeria. No government on earth will easily, especially in terms of hours, where many resources that sustain the people are being located in that particular environment. Underline that. Where it could have been so easy without government challenging anything that will come out from IPOB is if our land were like Yoruba land. Underline that. If our land were like Yoruba land. But in North, there are many resources there that is even greater than oil and gas. Many people don't know this. That most expensive resources that is even more costly and more expensive than gas and oil that is being found in Biafra land. But why I use Yoruba land as an example is because there is nothing much there. That's why I say where it could have been easy for IPOB without being challenged by any government is if our land is located like the area of Yoruba land where there is nothing much there. But as far as there is many things that are found in our land that generates fund for Nigeria, there will be our actions or our legal litigation must be challenged by the state of Nigeria. Underline that and have that in their mind. what happened was Nigeria government challenged the verdict of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu victory of freedom, but was not nullified. Or let me just break it down again, was not cancelled. Because many of us may think that Nigeria government cancelled the verdict of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. No, it was not cancelled. Go and make your research. What they did was to challenge the verdict, the outcome of the verdict, which is normal. Underline my word, which is normal. Which is very, very normal. 100% normal. Not even 99.9. 100% normal. Of course, they're supposed to challenge it. And that challenge was done. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are secured, his freedom was secured by the IPOB team of lawyers. Underline that, IPOB official attorney, which is Barrister Ejiofor, who contracted the senior advocate of Nigeria, Mike Ezekome. And everything went accordingly, smooth, accordingly. Everything was argued accordingly by the professional persons like Mike Ezekome and Barrister Ejiofor and his team of lawyers. And the victory was secured accordingly to the Nigerian Constitution. The Nigerian government challenged it as normal. When it was challenged, it was left there, in which Nigeria does not have proper defense plan to defeat that challenge or to defeat that verdict. To defeat that verdict of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But something we should be asking is, how come somebody came in and hijacked the justice system of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and returned back to court when the court have also or already passed their judgment on the very case? So, let me tell you who cancelled Mazi Nnamdi Kanu verdict with approval of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's why sometimes when mistake is done, it is done. In legal litigation, what you should avoid is error. Because when you finally venture into the trap of error, of course, every corrupt judge will capitalize on that your error and ambush you legally. It's done everywhere in the world. There are some sensitive cases in a country, even in Europe, where an individual will win over government, and the government will challenge that verdict. Government will challenge that verdict. But what the lawyers that handle that very case will be doing is what? Challenging those who file against that verdict. The lawyer will not turn around. If it is prosecutor so name that challenged the verdict, the lawyer will respond to that particular prosecutor. Because prosecutor always stand with government. Then what will happen is this. The lawyer will go back while suing the prosecutor for challenging the verdict. The lawyer will not go back to court with the same case again. But now going back to court to individual who filed a case to challenge that particular verdict. And that is exactly the stage where San Mike Ezekome and the barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor were on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are going to prepare a suit against Federal Republic of Nigeria for challenging the verdict that came from their constitution. But somebody from nowhere step in, hijack it from them, and deliberately by himself nullified, cancelled Mazi Nnamdi Kanu verdict of victory. And when such is done in a legal litigation, do you know what is called? As far as the consent of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was there, that means Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and his lawyers were the people who cancelled their own verdict of victory. Not Nigeria government. Nigeria government did not tamper that verdict. But them deciding, going back to court, fresh court, for the admitting, if as far as they have admitted in going back to court, that shows that they are not satisfied. That means that the lawyer who carried the case back to court fresh, is the one who nullified the already secured verdict. And the person who gave them the consent of go ahead agreed to cancel his own verdict. Let me tell you, that is why you see this leadership of IPOB, people should give them maximum respect. I say people should give them maximum respect, because they were to set them up, but because of the knowledge or because of their educational academic qualification, they were able to dictate what that means, getting their consent in that particular move, and then deliberately denied and distanced themselves from involvement, from being involved in such shameful and wicked deliberate acts. Those that went to court, because let me tell you, some people may say nobody is perfect, nobody is above mistake. No. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu cancellation of verdict was not done under mistake. It was done deliberately. And do you know why that was done deliberately? Because IPOB Foundation was targeted. They don't want this particular lawyer by name Alo Dejimako did not want the IPOB as an institution to take the glory of the victory. Do you understand me now? Underline, they don't want IPOB to take the glory of the victory. There are something from the Genesis military his hijack it. I begin to monitor them. I begin to shout on media that something wrong is going to happen. Alo Dejimako, who went and nullified and cancelled the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu verdict of victory, was not targeting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but was targeting the foundation founded by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But what I don't know is, was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu aware of this deliberate move to target his own foundation? And the way they were doing this, everybody bear me witness. I keep on shouting. I said, I know that when this kind of act is being carried out, there must be a secret agreement. But I keep on saying that this is a heavy error. It's a heavy error. Because if this heavy error is done, who will suffer it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I hope everybody will bear me witness that time. I keep on shouting all my program. I say, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be the one who will suffer the consequences of this deliberate targeting of IPOB Foundation. Because do you know why I say Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be the one to suffer it? Because IPOB Global Movement for Freedom have secured their name. IPOB Global Movement have secured their name by distancing themselves from every act of violence, by every act of criminality. They distance themselves clearly. And the world have monitored the conversation device of IPOB. Do you know that most of us, our conversation are being monitored by the country where we are? And they found out that there is no conversation that is linking IPOB to criminality or to violence. Are you underlining what I'm teaching now? And that is why they came, Alloyd, only the time Alloyd approached IPOB leadership was the time he wanted to get upset of IPOB over going back to court, fresh. He wanted IPOB leadership to put a signature of go ahead. But in the wisdom of the leadership confronted him and told him, who taught you of this idea of going back to court? Allow that case to be the way it is, where Nigeria is challenging it. Let me tell you, legal litigation of challenging verdict can even last 5 years. It can even last 3 years. It can even last 2 years. It can even last 10 years. Which is, no matter the duration of the time, those who challenged the verdict that was judged through the Constitution always being supreme. Country Constitution is above everybody. Who was the person who challenged the verdict? It was Malami, the former Attorney General of Nigeria, was the one who challenged the verdict. So what could have done is this: where he was challenging it, then another administration have entered. In as much that is APC who have the same manifesto of violating Constitution and fine and good. The challenge will continue. But at the end, there is no way they will beat the Constitution. At the end of the day, Constitution will be supreme over all their actions of delay, and the man will be free. Because some people said, I had some ignorant speaking. I never knew, if not for this movement for Biafra freedom, I never knew we have a massive, because let me just say, uneducated people in the Igbo land. I never knew. Because when an ignorant speaks, you will know. Somebody one certain time called me, said, Lion Man, if that's the charge and acquitted was true, why did not government not leave him? I was like shocked. I said, why the government didn't leave him? Is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a personal case? No. We are talking about freedom here. Full control of independence. And if Nigeria easily allow the verdict to go on, which means they have submitted to freedom, they have submitted to the breakup of Nigeria. That means they have submitted. They have been defeated towards our quest for freedom. In order way to hold on to that quest, in order way to delay that quest, so what they will do is to, what they did is to challenge the verdict, so that the verdict will may be in court for duration of time. Why those that is concerned, which is IPOB and her leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we go on defending the challenge Nigeria government have filed. What they filed is to challenge the verdict. What they filed was not, there's nowhere, anywhere you see, and they say, this judgment was cancelled. No. Because there is educated people among them. What they advise Malami to do, challenge this thing. And the Malami challenge it. Because there is no way they can cancel it. If they cancel it, they have violated the constitution, which will be a disaster to the people involved. Because why I'm telling you this, I was aware from the Genesis how the leadership advised, fought so hard, asking Aloy Ejimakor, stop this thing you are doing. Allow that case to be. I remember vividly that Aloy Ejimakor answered one of them. He said, Mommy Tanyako. Underline this. A lawyer who is standing as a defense to client is now addressing a judge as mommy. One, that shows the ignorance of that particular lawyer. That shows the heavy ignorance in that lawyer. Addressing the judge, the sitting judge, as a mommy, he said, Mommy Yako, ask them to abandon the victory verdict and go back to court so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be out. Because leaving it like that will make him stay longer. And when I receive this kind of word, I say, going back to court will make him live more longer in detention. Because going back to court is an error deliberately established by the client himself, the defendant himself, which the government will not capitalize on that you are ignorant and strike you. And exactly what I said is what took place. Because I was teaching that particular area so that these particular lawyers will listen to my broadcast and do the right thing. But do you know what? lack of their respect for individual or lack of their respect for IPOB umbrella. Because I discovered that Alod Ejimako have no single respect for IPOB. That was the genesis of this error. Maybe look at that, you know, that's why I said we human beings should be very careful about our loyalty to our fellow human being. That is kind of loyalty you will play to your fellow human being, that your fellow human being will now see you as an animal. He will not see you as an irrelevant person. Let your loyalty be, have a boundary or have what I call limits. You see, any loyalty that you are displaying towards person that is sounding yes sir, or yes ma, or anything that person dish out, we agree, never end well. There are some certain things when you are loyal to somebody, there are some certain things you need to challenge in other way to put a limit to that person's order. Because if you allow it to flow, there will be a time that person will not saying, okay, I think the people I'm leading, they are animal. They are not what to be described as human being, because it's only animal that is only a dog. You will say, sit here. You will sit. You will say, go here. He will go. If there is sometime even your own dog, when you will ask that dog, go here, the dog will move. Little time the dog will leave that place. Even animal. Sometimes even animal draw limits to loyalty to the owner. It doesn't allow the owner to control him anyhow. Even animal, talk less of human being. So, the people who went back to court are the people who nullified the verdict, not Nigerian government. Nigerian government did not tamper with the verdict. And as soon as they nullify their own verdict by themselves, do you know what Nigerian government did? Nigerian government now went and bring in on absent crime. That is what it's called, absent crime. And they align that crime to the defendant. Because when during the time Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is already in the hands of Nigerian government, there was no crime. There was no proof of crime that could have led him to prison. Underline what I'm teaching you. So, they first of all kept him, then waiting for IPOB to act stupidly in other way to bring the action of. Remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the leader of Ipob. He funded Ipob. So if Ipob were stupid or were ignorant of international politics, do you know what Ipob could have done? Remember, some people start playing the audio of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he said, anytime I am not be found or I go down. How did he say it? He said, bring Nigeria down. They begin to play that audio in their autopilot platform. I say, when a leader speaks of something, it doesn't mean that particular thing. That is a way you will handle people with mentality of violence in a civil manner. You find out that you have even changed them rather than engaging them in their own mindset, because they are good in violence. But there is another way IPOB did it. IPOB now put Nigeria in chain. And immediately, Nigeria, this government are very intelligent. What do? They start looking for individuals who can help them achieve and produce evidence of crime. And that is why they handed that particular sponsorship to Mazi Allah. Mazi Allah begin to sponsor autopilot. Mazi Allah begin to supply arms to autopilot. In other way, to get what they need, in other way, to put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in chain. And if you watch, as soon as they got what they want, that was when that advice came, telling our lawyer to go back to court. Because they have already gotten what they want. Because one, when Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor went and visited Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he came out on a press brief. He said to all Biafrans, remain in your ideology of peace. He was addressing all Biafrans. He said, remain in your ideology of peace, agitation. He even said it openly, that Simon Ekpa is a DSS agent. The video doesn't, internet doesn't lie. But Stephen Ejiofor openly said it. He mentioned his name. He said he is DSS agent. Then the gang up started attacking him. I know what he went through during that period when he said that word, that he is a DSS agent. Attack from nowhere. Kanu were attacking him. Prince Mimi were attacking him. Simon were attacking him. Those they recruited to hand over to Simon were attacking him. Then allowed Ejimako in other way to give Nigeria easy landing for what they are targeting. He was told to go on media and debunk the claim of Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He went on media, debunk the claim of Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor by saying that the followers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the same with followers of Simon Ekpa. Journalists asked him again. He said, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu accepted Simon Ekpa as his disciple. And he said, disciple and his master are the same. This is a lawyer who have already hijacked the case. Now, is the one now going openly to tell the world that what that means is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have given him, let me interpret that in what he said in that television, in a legal pattern. What he was testifying is so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has approved Simon Ekpa. That was that it means. So when somebody approves somebody, that means any crime that person committed should be directed to that person. then any goodness that person commits should be also directed to the who approve him. If you do bad, it will be aligned to him. If you do good, it will also be aligned to him. This is how law works. And remember, if it is an ordinary body who is not a defense figure to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it can be defended. Are you learning something now? You see, this very topic is very, very sensitive. If it is ordinary person, ordinary individual that said that on television, it could have been easily to be defended. But remember, the person who made the claim openly, publicly, is the person who is standing as a defense attorney to the client who is involved in the case. So now, do the Nigerian government need any other testifier in other way to get to the judgment? No, they don't need it. They don't need it. Let me tell you, that time they called those people with marks to come and as a witness. That was what I told you. I say that was a ceremonial step to get where they are going to. The original evidence they needed came from Alod Ejimako. That is why those people they call as witness is just a ceremonial. Let them just delay time. It doesn't take Nigeria anything that time to say we don't need all this drama. Hey, come. Because what the judge and the prosecutor should be asking Alod Ejimako in that court is, the major issue they should have asking him is, did you not say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu approved Simon Ekpa? Because that's what he means. So if Simon Ekpa commits terrorism, whosoever that is approved him will even get more sentence. Because Simon Ekpa is like, where Alod Ejimako placed him publicly, they called him disciple. So the master is the one directing his disciple on what to do. So which means what the judge or prosecutor could have asked him, if Barrister Ejimako, is very simple question. Did you not say that this man approved the person who resulted in killing Biafrans in Biafra land? That's the question they should be asking him that time. Then if he denied, they bring out the video. Then they will turn around and ask Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is this your lawyer? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say yes. Do you know the meaning of lawyer? Okay, now let me explain the meaning of somebody's lawyer. Let me explain the meaning of somebody's lawyer. If I am your lawyer, that means you have trusted your life into my hand. That's what they call it. That's why they call it a defense team of a defendant. That is why in every case somebody has in this world, lawyers will come and visit. That's why sometimes when you have a case, you don't speak. You don't give a statement to the police who are asking you for interrogation. You say, I want my lawyer to be available. And when you come, they will not just bring the lawyer to the table of that interrogation. They will first of all give you private room with your lawyer. Why is it like that? Ask yourself, why is it like that? Because the lawyer is the one to ask you privately in that particular room, tell me the truth. What happened? Then you will tell your lawyer every damn truth about what played, your involvement. Then when you finish telling the lawyer now will not signal police, okay, now I am here. My client can take. The lawyer now will not say, okay, say this, say this, say this, don't say this, don't say this, don't say this. It will not be there where your statement will be taken. Because that particular time, you have surrounded your destiny into the hands of the lawyer. Then that will enable the lawyer to go and prepare defense. But in as much as when the lawyer now turned to testifier, this is the lawyer who wants to defend you on such sensitive case, but the lawyer turned to testifier, at the same time standing as a lawyer to you. Now let me teach you the disastrous parts of that particular action. Okay, I went to public and testified that you and a criminal or a terrorist is the same. Then at the end of the day, a young man is going back to court. To say what again in court? Am I going to that? That's okay. When the prosecutor will say, Simon Ekpa key so people, he burned down businesses like this, he sacked a whole village, and his army, as he claimed, occupied the whole community, driving people from their residential home. Whenever you drove away people from their residential home, that is act of terrorism. That thing that happened in Imo State is no different from what Boko Haram have done in the north. Are you listening to me? There is no single different from what Boko Haram did in the north. Because Boko Haram will come, they will kill, and drive away all the villagers they will occupy it. What happened in Imo State? They drove away all the community and went into their houses and occupied it. This Odumeje house, it's not everything we saw on media. Odumeje finished his house. This liberation army of autopilot, Odumeje couldn't go to that house anymore. Because the man is comfortable, he don't want to enter trouble. The man keep quiet. They occupy that beautiful house he built in his village. There is one upstairs again, that place where army went and shoot. It was somebody who is living in Holland that owned that house. His brother came home to come and check his brother's house. They captured him and killed him. What exactly the Fulanis are doing in the north? Is it not to kill the villagers and occupy their home? Then what do they want Odumeje to do? To go there, they kill him. Then he abandoned the house. And somebody said that the person who gave such order to drive away villagers, to make them homeless, to kill the youth in that village, anyone who want to challenge them. Then somebody said this person who is giving order is the same thing as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That means he deliberately told the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu approved Simon violent. He deliberately told the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu support the killings of Simon Ekpa. He deliberately told the world that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in support of destruction of properties and businesses in Biafra land. And the same man is the one that will now go back to court and say, no, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu didn't do it. How possible is that? I want to ask Biafrans. You know, sometimes, I don't know how we reason. How possible is that that the same man will go back to court and say, no, I didn't say so. Where did you get this kind of allegation from? Or when they said that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is ordering people to kill or to destroy properties in Biafra land, with such person stand his ground to say no. No, he can't, because he know that he have already testified. Yeah, Biafra is no, we are not talking about the man of God himself. No, I know what happened. I am telling you what I did. I don't just say what I... Do you know when Odumeje abandoned that house? Because of these guys. And it wasn't too long that house was constructed. Very new house. That man didn't enjoy that house for one day. They went there, they drive everybody, went there and occupied. The man focused just in other way to secure his life. He began live. We are not talking about his business, gospel business area. No, we are talking about the event that took place in Imo State. So how dare we now thinking that the same man will defend Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That's why I said earlier, I said, Lloyd can never defend the man he have testified against. It's impossible. Now, for those who are saying, well, what is IPOB doing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? What is IPOB doing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? It's a very senseless question. Very, very senseless. That time, the Nigerian government were in a position to challenge the verdict. And now, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, is now in position to challenge the verdict of Nigerian government. Which one could have been easy? I want all of you to answer. Which one could have been more easier? Is it to defend the challenge verdict of Nigerian government, or to wait now to defend or to challenge the challenging them, or them challenging us? Which now could have been easy? Them challenging us could have been easier. Because we are on the main ring of the SmackDown. We are now holding championship belt. And those who are coming to contest it, remember, the man who is holding it will go for more training in order to defend that belt. That's why in every champion, those who are holding the trophy or belt are always more stronger in order way to defend it. But now, the hand of clock have turned. You are the one now challenging, not Nigeria government again challenging, because Nigeria government now they are in a better position. Because that is the position they want to exit them. Nigeria government wanted to exit themselves from the tight corner of position. Now, it is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now that is in a tight corner of position, not Nigeria government again. So, do you see why the leadership of IPOB said no? Our Lord, whoever that is advising you this is an evil. What they keep on shouting is Make they leave him now. If they know say this, you know, how can they leave Mazi Nnamdi Kanu just like that? I don't know what is our people. Do you know what is freedom? But I am telling you, if that thing could have been there as it is, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu could have gone out since 2025 or 2024. But do you see how they now delay him? Because there is something the world international community was waiting for. They were waiting for IPOB to keep on challenging, defending the challenge of the verdict of Nigeria. Then when they bring like the paper that I submitted, we submitted, I, myself, coordinator, and our national secretary, and the women leader here, and the document we submitted to the Brazil government judiciary is there, that this man have been discharged and acquitted, but due to the Nigeria does not respect their own law, they illegally kept this man in detention despite the verdict. That was the report we submitted to the government. And we alerted the foreign, the office of the foreign minister of this country. We say, okay, whenever you go to UN meeting, sorry, let me take water, please. Then we say, whenever you go to a UN meeting, present our case before the United Nations. Present our case. And they took that report and kept it. They said, okay, they will be doing that. Then suddenly, the same people we submitted the victory, the judgment book, the file we submitted, when we translated it into Portuguese, we spent a lot of money translating this thing into Portuguese, where they will understand the judgment that was passed on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We spent a lot of money, if I'm not making mistake. I think our national secretary has the figure that we spent. We spent, is it not roughly 200 and something, $220. We spend in translating those things. The judgment book is like, the thickness is like this. We printed it out. Then we translated it into Portuguese, you know, for the better understanding. Then when they and they read it, all of them, so they study everything. They say, okay, we will be presenting this case before international community whenever we go to UN meeting or any world meeting. Then suddenly, and that was the reason why the leadership said, don't go back to court, because the leadership have directed all the IPOB families, go and print that judgment, submit it to the country of your resident, submit it to the government of the country of your resident. And all of them now seeing it that this man is being set free by Nigerian constitution. Why are they still keeping him? But now, are we now going back again to now print the alloyed own and now present it to the same people again and said, this is the same man we have come to for his report again. But now the report now look that, oh, a half-life imprisonment. He has been convicted on terrorism and so crime and so crime. I want to ask all of you, do you want me, Lion Man, to go and present such shameful document when I am not stupid? In international politics, you don't go front, later you now go back. That shows you are not serious. That shows you are not qualified. So you know, how does it look now that our coordinator now will now call me, everybody now will now go and carry the same file and say, we translate it again. And now went and submitted to the same judiciary and say, look at it. This man is having life imprisonment. Now they will now go back to the former report and say, is it not the same Nnamdi Kanu? But that's what they would do. Nnamdi Kanu, leader of Nigerian people of Biafra. But you submitted this thing in 2023. Then how come in 2026 you are bringing another report that is carrying conviction? So therefore, a summary of this particular topic, the first one, the judgment that was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is carrying now is a deliberately artificial law that was done by single-handedly done by a man who targeted IPOB Foundation. But unfortunately, he is now realizing that the wickedness he carried out in targeting IPOB has no effect in IPOB, but rather to an innocent man who he claimed to be defending. Still on that mission, he now went and called autopilot because he is that man, Aloy Dejimako, is a full-time autopilot. He now went and called them, you know, your name, our name has spoiled in Biafra land. People does not want us again because of what we have done, the crime we have committed, the havoc we have committed in Biafra land. He went and told the autopilot to change name. They went and changed them to Avid, Rising Sun. You see how they split themselves? 3 groups. Because if they answer one, it could have been easier to be detected. Like, this is autopilot. They now make it look so. But Avid is Rising Sun. Rising Sun is Ambassador. Ambassador is Rising Sun. This, you know, autopilot, rebranded autopilot. Now, that's why I told you, remember what I told you? I said, criminals doesn't have patience. That's why my joy, criminals, all are they hang one. It's like a woman who want to step into the life of a man, but not with love, but to take something away from the man. That woman will be in a hurry to achieve what he wants to achieve. But the one that came to stay with the man, to live with the man, will never be in a hurry. They will be calm, working it out. Do you see the Rising Sun and the Avid and the Ambassador? Do you see the latest idea? I hope people are seeing the latest of their idea. They are now advocating for one Nigeria. Immediately IPOB reject them of joining them according to the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu order. They lost their patient. They now come out fully to show who they are. They are now advocating for one Nigeria. They are not targeting the Southeast Development allocation. Do you see why they were where they want to go? Remember what I told you? I said, what Simon Ekpa, what Nigerian government contracted Simon Ekpa to do before is this. Let me tell you why they contracted him earlier. You know, in the freedom fighting, when you start killing your own people, do you know what happened? That means you have lost the right for freedom. That is the United Nations standard of denying you the right. Because who are you fighting for? You are fighting for the freedom of your people. Now, in other way, the same people you say you are fighting for their freedom, you are now enslaving them, you are now brutalizing them, which means you have lost the chances of the freedom. That is how it is done. So what Simon Ekpa was doing that time was to push the agitation to that corner where they will now say, okay, you have lost the right, then those who want to take amnesty come outside and take amnesty. Then this kind of money now of this Southeast Development Fund, government will now create it in other way to give those people on top of the group. Let me tell you, all of you, why you people should be very careful. If they call for dialogue today, or let's assume that the leadership did not secure IPOB, separated IPOB, distanced IPOB from violence. Let's say Simon Ekpa succeeded in taking us to that level of killing our own people. Do you know what will happen? Those that will benefit the movement is only those on top. Somebody like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, somebody like Mazi Nnamdi, somebody like the DOS members. We, that is members of IPOB, you will never receive one kobo. That is how the Niger Delta movement was done. Niger Delta movement, who did it benefit? It benefit those on top. Osare Dukobo, Tompolo. That's how Jonathan came into politics as a devotee governor. Amechi came into politics. It was Niger Delta agitation that brought them into politics. I am telling you how the true story of these people. And that was exactly why even Simon Ekpa said it on his conversation. He said, Biafra is dead. The video is there. Somebody say, Biafra, don't you know that Biafra is dead? Then immediately he said that, and that video was playing. He went back again. Nigerian government called him and said, are you mad? You have not achieved what we ask you to achieve. You are running your mouth. Evidence of video said Biafra is, don't you know that Biafra is dead? The guy turned after from some few months, he said it, he turned around again, still talking about Biafra. That's when I look at our people and say, what is wrong with our people? Somebody have already confessed his mind, something from his heart. You people are still following this person. So in his mission, he wants Biafra to die, so that they will go for negotiation and collect money. That was his primary objective. He wants Biafra to die, so that they will go and collect money. And who advised them for this kind of thing? Is our Lord Ejimako. Who did that advice? But because of the way IPOB fought them, defending them on media, distancing themselves from them, they could not achieve it. They fell. Now, IPOB has already also detected them where they are going for this kind of thing. IPOB denied them. Avid, Rising Sun, and Ambassador. IPOB denied them again. Do you see where they are going? Restructuring Nigeria. They have go back to Nigeria. Let's assume that we give them the chance of joining us. Do you know what they will be doing in Ipob? They will resume kidnapping. And as soon as they resume kidnapping, the government will begin to fund them. And as soon as they begin to fund them, if IPOB deny it, they will go and bring our agreement, because there must be an official DOS statement in other way that show that they have accepted to join them. So whatever they do that time will be referred to IPOB. And IPOB can never defend it. That is the dangerous thing on it. Because he have already accepted them as one of you. That time, that very target of our Lord Ejimako to destroy IPOB will manifest. It will be very, very positive and likely achievable. Likely achievable. Because you don't deny something that you are aware of, or something that you have your signature on. So that is it for that area of number one. Let us go to number two. Number two said, U.S. government condition for Sharia law abolition in Nigeria a good steps? Yes, of course. Let me tell you about jihadists. This jihad, radical Islam. Their mentality is always to enslave their people. Do you know the meaning of Sharia? Sharia law is the most hypocritical law deliberately dish out and put in place for the oppressors to achieve their enslavements against the people they are governing. If you watch in Iran, they have Sharia, this Sharia law by this administration of this man that was eliminated. And let me say something quickly before I go here. For those of you who will come to my wall, when I posted this thing earlier that the man have been eliminated, some people keep on saying, Lion Man, where did you get your own news? CNN haven't carried it, Fox News haven't carried it, Al Jazeera haven't carried it, this and that haven't carried it. You people should be mindful of yourself. This page, since 2016 till now, you will never see anywhere I posted something and deleted it in the name of fake news. I know where I got my information from. I posted this thing early in the morning, even when the whole media was not even carrying it, because I got the source from a reliable source, which I will not mention the forum. And the people who carried the operation, who succeeded in carrying the operation, send it to that forum. These are the military officers who went, not people who are in the barrack. This is military officers who went for the operation. Send it to the forum. The building they leveled, the man and his family is there. And in that forum, I asked them, how sure is this? And the controller of the forum, an Israeli intelligence, reply it and say, we did the job. So I went ahead and posted it there. And some people came there, it's fake news, fake news, fake news. I keep quiet. I keep on laughing. I say, if I do fake news, finish. Last. I don't post anything you see in my word. Either learn to respect yourself. Don't respect me. If you go there, he doesn't understand it, you check another from he doesn't, go and rest. Go and sit down and rest. Very soon, maybe after 4 hours or after a day, the same news will appear in all mainstream. So let me go back to what I was saying. Sharia law is targeted on those they want to oppress. Now, let me go back to Nigeria. Fulani introduced Sharia law into Nigeria constitution, and the Nigeria government endorsed it and they approve it for them for peace to reign, right? And in a Quran, Islamic Quran, stealing is a death penalty. Stealing is a death penalty in the Sharia. Now, since the establishment of Sharia law in Nigeria by the Fulani, I want to ask you, is there any race that is more corrupt in government than the Fulanis? They are the highest embezzler. Have the Sharia law lead to any governor of the Fulani to their sentence? The answer is no. Have that Sharia law lead any Fulani senator to death? The answer is no. But I want to ask you, have that the same Sharia law lead ordinary people on the street? Maybe somebody who stole phone, somebody who do picking pocket, or somebody who do, all these petty hungry thief. Have you lead to their death sentence in the north? Yes. So when the developed world is talking about abolition of Sharia, they know that Sharia is targeted on the weak ones, weak people. And in a human rights defense, government is supposed to protect the weak. Who are the weak? The poor ones among the society. That is why in this country, Brazil, people you must avoid as a rich man is the poor ones. Go and ask anybody. If the worst case you will have in this country, if you are rich, you went and intimidate a poor man, you are gone. In fact, you have entered the greatest case ever that is existing in this country. The rich ones, the billionaires and millionaires, they are doing everything to avoid the poor. There is one case that happened here, 2024. A bike rider who do delivery went into one luxury estate where billionaires lives. And he went to deliver goods as a rider. That is his job. He reached at the gate of that particular estate. They call it luxury estate. He pressed bell. The security personnel in that gate came out and asked him which would he say this is so man. And the person need to come down and take that thing from the delivering rider guy. You know, there are people who have this arrogance in them, especially when they are rich. They will look down on the poor people. The woman, the guy is a black guy, while the woman is a white woman. The woman came down. I don't know what occurred. She began to insult that bike delivering guy. He began to shout on him, insulting him. You know, camera is there. This surveillance camera is almost everywhere in this country. Nobody recorded it too. It is surveillance camera in that estate and the opposite estate. Recorded all the insult the woman gave to the boy. Then the boy brought out his phone, videoed the woman. The husband of the woman came down, seeing that he's videoing the woman, came down, and they treated the boy like a slave. They treated the boy, you know, as a poor man who nobody will speak for him. The boy went away and went straight to police to go and report the case in a police station. Then police came, demanded that the woman should come. The woman and the husband came back. The police show them the video, the little one the boy recorded. And they demanded, the police now demanded that the security personnel give them the surveillance recorded video of what happened. And the security handed over the video to the police. Police added it with the one the guy gave to them. They take the woman and the husband to court. These are the millionaire. And when if you see how television was so hot for this case, all the journalists in this, all the whole television channel, all the whole news carry it. Come and see where journalists are doing their work. Is it because this boy is poor? Is that why the woman humiliated and the woman and the husband humiliated the guy like that? This thing becomes so high on television. All the news platform carrying it. People condemn it. The act of this woman and the husband. That's why I said rich people has this atom. Majority of rich people has this atom of intimidation. It's normal. This is a human nature. But something that is guiding everybody in a developed world is law. And at the end of the day, they establish the case. At the end of the day, when they ended this case, 2025, I think in November, they were asked the family to pay that boy compensation for insulting and humiliating him, that he suffered trauma. Do you see it now? Government said, because of the condition of that young man, you make him go through trauma, thinking about his life. You are going to pay him so amount of money. Or you go 4 years imprisonment for your punishment to intimidate the poor. The woman and the husband pay. They learn their lesson. If you go to Iran, no individual speaks in Iran. The same thing APC is positioning Nigeria to. If you watch this APC administration, if you talk, they lock you up. That is exactly what is happening in Iran. Do you see the jubilation of Iranians? Both the ones in diaspora, both the one in Iran. See jubilation. See how they are praising Donald Trump of rescuing them from the long bondage of this particular administration. This is why I say to you, this is why I love IPOB. IPOB focuses their energy and their effort in making sure that the poor in Biafra land is secure. And this is what the world leaders have seen in IPOB that make them interested in Ipob. Any government that does not protect the poor does not want to be government. Any government that puts the poor vulnerable for destruction doesn't want to be government. This is exactly what APC is doing. Look at how many people that is under detention, illegal detention in order of devil mind. Okay, is there anything different from attitude of devil mind locking people up in Ebony? Those who speak against him, those who talk, they will be locked up. Is there anything different from the attitude of jihadists in Iran, attitude of jihadists in Afghanistan? No. And I want to advise our leadership, please, take the names of our politicians. Let us do this thing and teach our politicians how to respect their people. There is something I am thinking. Let us make a call of Biafrans to know how many people who are in detention under the order of any politicians in Biafra land. We will take the name of those politicians and submit to the United Nations, and submit to the European Union, and submit to the American government. So that they will be blacklisted and be targeted. Both their investment in abroad and their assets will be targeted. Systematically, Igbo politicians now are now practicing jihad. They are now feeling that the jihadist method of governance is the best because it gives them the opportunity to do whatever they want. Nobody will talk. If you talk, they will order for you locked up. This is the same thing the Fulanis are doing in the north. Igbo politicians have learned it, thinking that this is the good thing. Do you know how many people is under detention of Ojo's Okado order? So what we need to do now as IPOB member, we put call across. Anybody, any politicians are holding, please, the family come forward. Give us the name of the person. Give us the time this thing, the event took place. Hand it over to us. We pile up the names of the politicians involved and the name of the victims and submit to the Amnesty International and the European Union. Because the action is what? The action is Sharia in disguise. In a Sharia country, in Islamic country, you don't talk to the government officials. You only, your response should be yes, whatever they ask you to do, you do. You don't challenge them. If you challenge them, they sentence you to death. Because we need to do things right. We need to take our politicians, those involved in locking people up whenever they speak, they lock them up. We need to take their name, both the serving governors, both the past governors who have done that. That's why we need to create awareness to ask our people, is there any of your son or any of your daughter that is in detention by the order of any politician from your community? Then the family, we write their family name, write their son or their daughter name, then write the politician who ordered the arrest, who ordered the detention, write their name. We need to make this collection, get all the victims so that we can bring them out. Because in a developed world, government focuses their energy in protecting the poor, not the rich. But in Nigeria, if you watch the system of Nigeria, Nigeria government targets the poor. They eliminate the poor. They kill the poor. They punish the poor. While in a civilized world, the poor are the most protected people in the country. The poor are the most protected people in the country. So the abolition of Sharia law is a good step by the government of the United States of America, knowing fully well that these people who have made themselves master over the less privileged can never reduce themselves back. Because why? That is the reason why they put that Sharia, in other way, to work on the head of the Hausas, to use them as a step where they are walking, where they will lie them down. That is what that thing empowers. So it's a good thing, and which we know, I Lion Man know vividly well, that the Fulani can never agree to abolish Sharia, because if they abolish Sharia, they will never have control over the masses in the north again. It is that Sharia. Look at what they do in the north. If any youth challenge any Hausa Fulani, any Fulani politician, they will call Sharia police. The Sharia police go arrest them, detain them, pass their sentence on them. Sometimes they will cut off their hand. So when the Yusuf see now that Ahmed is being sentenced to death, will Yusuf talk about the corruption of the senator from his community? No. Yusuf will now remember how Ahmed died for speaking the truth. He will not keep quiet. They will not take dominion. Sharia is to dominate the masses. That was Sharia stand. And that is exactly why both Yoruba politicians, both Igbo politicians now agreed on Islamization. I told you, if not for the report of IPOB about Christian killing in Nigeria, I told you 2025. I think it was September or August. I said it. I said, there is a plan that is going on, but Igbo politicians have agreed. Because they promised them power forever. Because in a Sharia, in Islamization law, those who remain in power, who agreed, will remain in power forever. Election can never be counted, because whenever the election is done, the supreme law of the Sharia, we announce those who have already agreed for Islamization. They will never announce normal result. That is why you see all those of Kanu, they want Islamization. Hopes of them want Islamization. Many people, if I begin to count people that want Islamization in Igbo land, you will be wondering how on earth will Igbo man want Islamization? They want it just to protect themselves in the power. I blow this alarm 2025, but you people doesn't listen. But now it is playing open. What is the act of Islamization and the Sharia? In a Sharia law, you will be forced to belong to the ruling party. That's exactly what was done in Iran. What is APC doing in Nigeria? They are forcing people into their party. They are forcing governors into their party. They are forcing senators into their party. And if you watch how the scenario was going, they are already achieving it before IPOB step in. But because of what Trump have done in Iran, you are going to see the change. That enforcement of belonging to APC, go and watch from this month we enter now, go and watch something will happen. They will not do it again. Because they have seen that, yes, this Trump is determined to liberate every oppressed people. Let me tell them something, no? Trump is coming, no? All of you running mad in Nigeria, this or that, you don't understand. I'll tell you, that is not how international politics have been played. Trump is coming. He's going to start regime change. Regime change is taken on in Iran. After that regime change, he's coming to Nigeria. After that regime change is coming to Nigeria. You see this abolition of this Sharia. These are where the US military will eliminate all the Fulani sponsorship of terrorism, and those are sympathizing to them. This is where they are going to. The same thing, the elimination that took place in Iran is going to take place in Nigeria. And it's unfortunate that two Igbo politicians' names are there. The people they are blacklisted to eliminate in Nigeria. Two Igbo politicians are there. Which I will not mention their name, because I want them to be eliminated. One is from Abia, one is from Anambra. Because they have gotten evidence of the activities of these people. One in Abia, one in Anambra. But multiple figures of the Fulanis, they are there. But I am surprised. Why these two people, what are they doing with the Sharia endorsement from Igbo land? One from Anambra, one from Abia. Their names are there. People that will be eliminated because of the jihad. Many more will go down. As soon as Trump finishes in Iran now, his next step is in Nigeria. Because he said it. He said, I want to ensure that people live freely. No, but you see, this is why I keep on telling people, you don't have rights to oppress your fellow human being. You don't have the right. That is why every Nigerians want to travel abroad, because The embarrassment Nigerian police are giving to the Nigerian citizens, no European police, no American police can give you such intimidation. And it's a crime against humanity. You don't intimidate the poor. The poor are meant to be protected in every country. Do you know that the people with physically challenged, do you know that when they come to look for work in a company, you don't reject them. In this country, you don't reject them. If you come to a company in this country, hardly you go to a company without meeting one or two persons that is physically challenged. If you reject them, except company that has this heavy duty work, then you have to give that physically challenged person a note. The work we are doing here is too difficult. You can never be employed because of the nature of the work. And the government will know that this company has a heavyweight duty production, which the physically challenged cannot withstand. But if it's all these lights that produces all these light, you must employ even one. You have to employ even one, at least. Even though if he's not doing anything, maybe his work is just go and get this thing, you go and get it. If maybe his hand is not good, you will use hand and carry one something that is light and give and bring and give people who is working. You must employ them. To bring that in, we preach equality. I have one in our company. It doesn't do anything. His work is just to help others. Just help others. But he has been working there for over 6 years. Receiving salary. With insurance, health insurance, everything. Because this is how it should be. Even Bible, for those of you who does not believe in Bible, even Bible indicates that protect the poor, protect the less privileged. Is it not written in Bible? Then how come you will now have all this knowledge? You want to intimidate the poor. You want to place them under disguise of operation in the name of Sharia. So that the one who want to speak, you silence them through Sharia. Let me tell Nigeria something. To me, the only way Sharia will stand in Nigeria is they have to go and bring Aisha Buhari, who stole money from Nigeria, and the sentence her to death. They have to go and bring all the Fulani politicians who have stolen from Nigeria and sentence them to death under Sharia. Malami currently, who stole trillions of naira, have to come under Sharia and be sentenced to death. Everybody will now say, yes, he has been executed through the sentence of Sharia. But if that is not done, the Sharia should be trashed into the dustbin. I repeat, if that thing should not done, that I witnessed that these people have been hanged, sentenced by hanging, that nonsense should be trashed. Yeah, God bless you, Gabriela. I hope this Gabriela know that Gabriela is a female name. You know, our people answer kind of name, all this foreign name without knowing the full meaning. I hope this Gabriela know that this is a female name. Are you a female? Because Gabriela must be a female. That is a Latin name. As far as that LA is at the last, that means female. But if it is LE that end it, that's male. Now people answer foreign name anyhow without knowing the deep meaning. Gabriela is a female name. Except he's a female. But if it is a man, I beg try as much as before you answer name, try and make research of the full name in other people's country. Okay, he's a female. So we must put our effort together in other way to protect the poor among us. If you watch Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what did he say? IPOB manifesto. You defend those who are weak, protect those who cannot protect themselves. What is the world developed countries' constitution? Is it not the same? Protect the poor. So do you see that IPOB is operating on the standard of the civilized countries? Because in IPOB, we protect the poor. In IPOB, those who does not have money to pay their monthly due, nobody forces them to do that. Go and ask. But what we urge them, come. Your idea is useful. We know that you don't have money to contribute, but give us your idea. But those who have the condition to contribute. Nobody is forcing anybody in IPOB to pay monthly due. Go and make your investigation. I know people since we start IPOB Brazil. I know people that they never pay monthly due. But they are IPOB member. They don't have, they are managing themselves. They don't have that condition. They don't have that condition. And if you see them in our meeting, we treat them equal. Nobody will use it against them because it's against IPOB conduct. Nobody will use it against them. I remember one of our brothers for over 3 years, he didn't have money to pay for monthly dues. But unfortunately, God answered his prayer. His door opened. That brother came and give, how much did he give that time? He gave IPOB Brazil, I think, for one of the ESN contribution. He came and dropped, I think 1.5 million naira. I think, yeah, no, 1.4 million. Is it 1.4 million? Yeah. But this is a guy who was not able to pay his monthly dues for 3 years. Well, how we do it in IPOB is this. This has been our slogan. That's why we don't want those who doesn't have to feel intimidated or to feel ashamed of themselves. No. onye na-enweghị taa ga-enwe echi. Onye nwekwara taa o nwere ike odi echi ọ ga-adịzi ya n'aka. That's why you must respect every human being you see on earth. You don't intimidate people because you are there. Sharia law is all about intimidation of the poor and the less privileged. Sheikh Gomi, is there any man who practices evil more than him? Why is Sharia not referring to him? This is why they put it together, so that they will use it to continue their crime over the poor. So the Sharia, in conclusion, that Sharia must be totally abolished. So some Igbo politicians who are warming up to enjoy the Sharia because of power, I am sorry. If from today, if anybody is forcing anybody again to belong to APC, that particular individual in our land, in Biafra land, give us the name. We are going to submit the name to those who are longing for jihad in Nigeria. Because whenever you want to force people to belong where you belong forcefully, that is the act of terrorism. That's why in IPOB we don't force people to join IPOB. Have you have any kind of story say IPOB is forcing people to come into IPOB? No. But look at autopilot. The few months they operate and the few years they operate, they were forcing people to join them. If you don't join them, they will threaten you. So what is the activities of APC? If you don't join APC, they threaten you. APC threatening Obi Kubana. They threaten to destroy all his business if you don't join them. That's why Obi Kubana joined them. Go and ask him. Zenko, the same. And that is the act of terrorism, act of jihad. That's why I told you people, I said, you people condemning them. Walking mad all Azor business here. Isn't that what I said? Walking mad Azor business here is trying to protect his business. Because they were threatened. And that is anything that results into forcing people to go against their will. That means you are terrorizing human life. You are terrorizing their fundamental right, which is terrorism. Anytime you come to somebody and said, give me money, contribute money, like that thing Autopilot was doing that time, meeting businessmen, calling them on phone to bring money. That is act of terrorism. It's not done anywhere in the world. Since the existence of IPOB have never called anybody and say, give us money, or we kill you, or no. What does IPOB do? The media warrior will come and say, support ESN, support Ipob. Any little you can do, support them. And nobody's forcing anybody. So willingly, if you believe that what the IPOB is doing is a good ideology, is a good thing that will benefit everybody, then you willingly contribute. Then if you feel that is a scam, you be yourself. Nobody will slap you, nobody will beat you. But if you find it worthy within yourself, you support them. That's why we always plead. We say, please, remember, There are men and women who are awake when you are sleeping. And that is why what is happening in Borno have never happened in Biafra land. That's why what is happening in Peletu is not happening. That's why what is happening in Benue is not happening in the Biafra land. Who are these people? IPOB ESN. Willingly. That's why in Ipob, any day I choose to walk out, nobody will threaten to kill me. But in a terrorist organization, if you any day they notice you are going out, they execute you. They execute you, they kill you. Any day now I wake up and say, I don't want to do this agitation again. I walk away. People will be asking, where is Lion Man? Where is Lion Man? Where is Lion Man? Where is Lion Man? And nobody will come after me. Nobody will kill me. That is where my capacity have come. Then I feel that my capacity cannot carry it to the end. I gently and quietly walk away. And I am walking away. I will not be afraid of any IPOB member coming after me. No. Because I know their mindset. Their mindset is civil, not violent. Okay, now let us go to the number 3. Number 3 say, what exactly will Southeast be currently without the sacrifices of ESL? Now, we all have seen what is happening in the North. We all have seen what is happening in Yoruba land. We are not talking about North again now. In Yoruba land, let's say the northern part of Nigeria has become business as usual killings of indigenous people there. Look at Yoruba land. To the point that even a king were taken from his palace and killed. So have you now sit down and think and say, if not for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB, what could that be the condition of our land? When you begin to ask yourself these necessary questions, you begin to reason like a human being. Sometimes, no, despite that I'm in IPOB, I pay my monthly dues. I don't miss it. I ask myself, because late Buhari targeted Igbo land. I say, imagine if there is no Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Imagine if there is no Ipob. Nobody will remain in Igbo land by now. Because that was their primary area of target. It's because of IPOB available, that's why they channel their attack on this area. But their primary objective of wiping people out were the Igbos. They want to wipe us out. They wanted to wipe us out. But because of IPOB that God brought on time, they couldn't achieve it. They couldn't achieve it. Mazi Jonathan will come back. He will come back. I think he went for something important. He will come back. He will come back. I think I'm not sure where he went to. I think he went on something that is important. But if he have walked out, I beg of him to come back, because I will remind him of his own word. He said we must continue. Because the report I got is the provocation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu siblings. Not everybody will bear such nonsense. The attitude of these lawyers and the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is provoking. Seriously, it's provoking. But I seriously believe he will come back, because anya ga-esi maka ndị atụfuo anyị para treasure asị anya atụfuo ya, anya atụfuo ya because of their attitude, But whatever it may be, he will come back. So sometimes we need to sit down and begin to think. Reflection is important in every human life. What are we reflecting to? Don't think, because if you watch where Mehdi Allah pushed all these foot soldiers of jihad, before it was Enugu, Anambra, and Abia. These three places, that's where they pushed them, and they boy. That's where they pushed them. What happened? What was happening there? Especially in Enugu. Killing. It was who drive these people back to north. It's ESN. But you will see some people, they don't care. They don't care. They will tell you, what is IPOB doing? IPOB is causing problem. IPOB is causing problem. Without evidence, they will open their mouths and allege IPOB. So what am I talking in essence? I want to urge, if there is no people that will support IPOB, churches in Biafra land should call it a duty. I don't know why some pastors are so self-centered. Churches in Biafra land should find it, that call it obligation to support IPOB. Churches in Biafra land supposed to, every Sunday after their church service, and they map out one particular morning and say, let us go and give IPOB people this morning for our betterment. At least seeing what is going on in the north, seeing the slaughtering of Christians in the north. But we are the one funding the same funding the same ESN. While the pastors of the churches in Biafra land are enjoying their money, forgetting that the existence of that churches today in Biafra land is the effort of IPOB. Is there any church in Brunei? No. Was church there before? Yes. Is there any church in Adamawa? No. Was church there before? Yes. Is there any church in some part of northern state before? Yes. Where is the church now? No more. So if not for IPOB formation of ESN, by now there will be no church in Biafra land. The same thing that happened in the north could have happened in the east. But if you ask our pastors now, what are they going to tell you? They tell you God protect. I keep on telling you, God has given you thinking how to protect yourself. God can't protect you. Protection is in your hand, not by God. Somebody asked one day, say, why Jesus is not protecting those that Boko Haram are killing in the north, Funanis are killing in the north, those Christians. Why? That means all this is my scam. I went to his comment section. I said, this is where the ignorant is playing out. God is a spirit, and spirit cannot do something that belongs to mortal man. God is immortal, spirit, but spirit can never do the duty, can never carry the duty of a mortal man. It's impossible. God is a spirit moving around, looking for who to enter and manifest himself through that person. Satan is also a spirit moving around, looking for who will welcome him into their life so that he will manifest. This is a spiritual thing. If you like, pray prayer from now to this. Human being is a god to his fellow human being. Go and look, people of Iran. What did they say? God bless Trump. God bless Trump. Do you know how many years they have died in silence? They have executed them. The same thing that is happening in Nigeria. Do you know how many years people are dying under the government hand? Intimidation. But very soon, those things will be over. US is a war power. But corrupt people enter there. They supported injustice. Democrat. All this country, we are giving them gifts. They were collecting. To ignore the right thing they're supposed to do as a world power. What did you hear Trump say after striking Iran? Did you watch his brief, his press conference? He said, as far as this administration, he said, no government of any world can intimidate their people. He said, if you keep on killing your people, I will come for you. So this thing should be referred to Nigerian government. They should tell Nigerian government, if you keep on killing your people, I want those people, those one Nigerians to advise their Nigerian government official. If you keep on killing your people, we will come for you. Go and look at it. He said, the people of Iran, their freedom has commenced. Human beings are God to human being. I know what I'm talking about. Human beings are God to his fellow human being. That is how it is. If you pray to God finish, and God can never, as a spirit can never give you, you will also direct you to where his spirit is. If you pray finish now, maybe as I am now, I need money, I want to pray, say, God, give me financial. Either God open my eyes to say, what can I manufacture? What can I be? I want to be creative. Okay, let me create this thing and see if this thing will enter market. Who did it? Human being. Or I need money. Who will you approach? Human being. That is why when you have bad government, the city and the people cry. But when you have a righteous government, everybody rejoices. That shows you that we are God to ourselves. Look at Abia State. How terrible Abia State was. Environment of Abia State, dirtiness everywhere. What happened? What is happening now? Because criminals were there. They make people's life difficult. Business shrink. Abia State business shrink. Nothing is moving. Even landed property was so cheap. But go back to that Abia State now. Those who bought properties for many years, who want to resell it and make their money were hanged because nobody is buying. But look at somebody that God brought. He has brought light into the society. And everybody is rejoicing. Everybody is happy. Was God the one that is doing those roads? Was God the one that cleaned the dirtiness in Abia State? No. It's human being. That's why sometimes when you leave something that is important and begin to chase shadow, you have to accept to believe. That's why I say, when people will gather in the church, they say, let us pray for country. Let us pray for this Nigeria. Let us pray for this. What are you praying? That prayer does not make any sense. It doesn't have any effect. You are just wasting your energy and your saliva for nothing. Instead of you to go out there to do the thing, to do the needful, by ensuring that those that will go there to preside over your affair are the people who have the mentality to respect human being, not those who have the mentality to kill. People who have been in Abia State is people who want to kill, who want to kill, who want to kill, who want to kill. All what is full in head of Ojo Kanu was killing. And he did it perfectly in Abia State, killing until he left. Theodoji enter. Killing, intimidation, and he left. Okezie enter. Killing, until he left. But today, you and I can attest to that there is no killing. And development is everywhere. The killing that is happening in the north are the people in political class. They are the people killing this thing. They are the people arming those Fulani to kill. Because this is what they believe. The killing in let me tell you something. There is no government figure that have no power to end anything they want to end. You see this Benue? You see that Reverend Father? That Reverend Father is a murderer. That Reverend Father of Benue State Governor is a murderer. Yeah, he didn't start his murderous attitude today. He has been murdering even before he became a politician. That is why the killing is large in that place. Because this is, you have been the killer. It didn't start today. Somebody like me will be governor. You come there in the name of insecurity. You kill one citizen or one indigenous person of that state. If the security that I'm controlling did not provide the killer, I will resign. Let him be market woman. Who killed that one market woman? Oh, security going to work. get the perpetrators of the killer of that market woman. Bring him or bring her to me. Failure to do that, all of you are sacked. Watch out. Sometimes I sit down and say, God, this is how we could abandon our home, abandon our land. By now, Igbo land could have been covered by grass. The same way, some Fulani politician does not travel back to their village in the north. They remain in Abuja. Every time there is election, they win the election, they enter. Have you asked yourself, is there any election in those their places? No. Do you see the reason why Ojus Okano want insecurity in Abia? He wants insecurity in Abia because he wants to remain in the Senate forever. Because if there is no tranquility in this, what will happen? He go back to Senate. But if there is development in that state, if there is tranquility, people can come out and vote who they want. Do you see why some Igbo politician is now sponsoring jihad secretly? There is something I want to say. The leadership should take note of this thing. All Jews Okano, according to report coming from Ohafia, all Jews Okano have deployed. The people are saying that they don't know if these people they deploy is Boko Haram. They give them uniform, Nigerian army uniform. He say all Jews Okano have deployed battalions of soldiers in Ohafia, intimidating the young people, arresting them. So the leadership of IPOB, please take note. There is some evidence that I will forward in regards of that. The report came last week. The report came last week that all Jews of Kano, they don't know if those things are truly Nigerian army. But they said there are too many. All Jews of Kano brought them to Ohafia. So I want leadership to take note of that, and I want the good conscience of Igbo leaders should investigate how far this thing is. All Jews of Kano have no right to deploy soldier as a senator. And I don't know if the Abia State Governor is aware of it. Abia State Governor should order those soldiers to leave Ohafia. All Jews of Kano have no right, a constitutional right. No senator, no House of Rep member has right of deployment of security agencies in any state. The only person that have the right is governor. So Abia State governors, intelligence gathering, please take note and discharge those soldiers. Let those soldiers leave Ohafia immediately, please. Very, very important. Ojus Okano is digging a pit that will swallow him. Thank God now the US officials are listening, they are putting lists together. The figures, Fulani figures who are behind terrorism in Nigeria. But I wonder why two Igbo name are there. Why? Two politicians, Igbo land, one Abia State, one Anambra. Why? When I tell you that some of our Igbo politicians, they want this Islamization. You people doesn't understand it. I told you the benefit of Islamization for them. But they never knew with time, as soon as they help the Fulani achieve it, then the Fulani will sideline them. That's how it is done. They will be executed. So therefore, in conclusion, please and please, those of you who is well due to give a token to IPOB for security, do it. You don't expect the ESN to carry cutlass going after the Fulani terrorists. No. Since the Fulani terrorists are carrying AK-49, AK-47, ESN have to carry the same thing. You use sophisticated weapon to confront the criminals with sophisticated weapon. That's how security is done. So, in conclusion of the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is Aloyd Ejimako is the one who cancelled Mazi Nnamdi Kanu verdict of victory. He was the one who cancelled it. And unfortunately, he now gets the approval of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to cancel his own, to nullify his own verdict of victory. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu signature is there. But thank God IPOB leadership signature is not there. Somebody said something. Somebody called me and said, man, have you think if the leadership were not wise and they give Aloyd Ejimako their consent of go ahead, do you know that the same Aloyd Ejimako could have been telling all these boys, all these children he recruited, you will be telling them that it is IPOB leadership that jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The person called me. That was what the person said. He said, God save the leadership. You see, by now, Kanu Takano, Prince Mimi, all these boys, the Darlington and Methuselah could have been there because he said they have already paid them. He said because they have already told them that they are going towards negotiation of dialogue. And Nigerian government is bringing money. So that is why those boys are doing what they are doing. Say they want to share from that money. You say by now, the same people could have said that it is the leadership who jailed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You say, but why they are not saying that now? Because of the leadership denied them the opportunity to say so by distancing themselves from that participating on that going back to court. And that is what the person said that I say you are saying the truth. So what they are saying now is some people doesn't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out. I don't know how stupid people are. You went and destroyed the secured verdict of IPOB achieved by IPOB lawyer for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu freedom. Now you turn around, you say some people in IPOB does not want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out after you have given him life imprisonment. You should condemn madam. So ote any life imprisonment, I have IPOB get na prison, you are the one who handed over life imprisonment to him. You are the same person who will go there and know how you are going to bring the person, not we. Because we said no. Don't go there. You went. When I go ara the madam sobu. Takado say some people in IPOB doesn't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. And I ask myself, is this guy normal? You deny IPOB information right from Kenya. Then IPOB told you again, after your sin, after your evil in Kenya, you repeated that evil again. IPOB tell you, don't go back to court. You say, don't mind the nonsense leadership. You went back to court and hand over life imprisonment to your brother. And turn around and say some people. When they say it budget to psychiatric hospital, get check your brain, hammer, roar off man. Those who hand over life imprisonment should go there and bring him out, not IPOB. Some people, because you have another plan to indict IPOB, he went and tell him to say support Avid. Did you tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who is this Avid? Did you tell them who is this ambassadors? Did you tell them did you tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu who is this rising sun? He didn't tell, you only tell them they came, the money the Nigerian government give to them, they take small money there and give you. Then you go there, cut small money and give to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in prison. You tell them that these are the people who are bringing it. IPOB is not bringing anything. If there is something Nigerian government said, the former chief of army staff, what did he say? He said, that man said something. He said everything about this agitation is money. He said they're using it for money making. And that time, some people were attacking that chief. I told somebody, I said, don't attack this man. This man knows what he's saying. I was one, they said, not everything you attack. Rather, what we should be asking on media is, who are those who are using it to make money? Because the man said everything about this agitation of, he called it Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, is about money. Now, I want to ask you now, be the judge. The attitude of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu brothers, what does it show? Does he prove that man right? Yes, the man is right. Because the man is part of the government and they know where they are taking the Nigerian money to another way, to infiltrate IPOB. And those people are receiving that money. In other way, to infiltrate IPOB. That's why the man came out and tell you everything about this Biafra is money. They are not for freedom. They tell you, the man, a chief of army staff tell you that they are not agitating to get freedom. They are agitating to make money. And you, in your little brain, think that man is wrong. That man is not wrong. These are the people who were supporting IPOB before. Kanu Takano, Prince Mimi, everybody. But immediately IPOB denied them that particular provision they are supporting Biafra for, which is money. They turn against IPOB. So which means right from genesis of their support, they were supporting based on the money they are enjoying in IPOB. So when that money is denied, they turn against IPOB. The same thing with Darlington. He has been in IPOB enjoying money. But immediately that money was denied, it turned against IPOB. So the word of that chief of army staff, is it now correct or not? It's correct. And that is why they are going around distributing money in another way, telling them give this money, then let them come, so that we can destroy the foundation. But leadership have known that Nigerian government is distributing money in another way to filter. That's why they lock their door. Leadership lock the door. No new member will come in. In DOS, no new member. That's why they are finding it difficult to filtrate IPOB. So therefore, please and please, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom, let us be wise in our engagement. Very, very important. God bless you all for joining this broadcast. Please, today is program on X. Make yourself available. The post is there on my wall. I think it will start 5 p.m. every Sunday. X discussion, Biafra regional affair. Very interesting. You come there, is allowed, you call in, you ask your question, you want to ask, you answer there, you answer you. Even Nigeria DSS, they are calling there. They are contributing, they are making their contribution. Ask sensitive questions, we answer them. Everybody is allowed, Fulani is allowed to come there. If they feel that they want to express themselves in regard of what we're saying concerning them, they should come there and ask questions. Their question will be answered. That place is for everybody, it's not for only IPOB members. So, great dear friends and lovers of freedom, I thank you all for this today, being the 1st of March 2026. God bless you all, and may this month be a very wonderful month to all of us. Happy new month, and God bless you all. Ndewo.